we were talking last week about Miami and, if they would kind of bounce back. And to be honest, though, they did lose by 10. They didn't cover, but I do think they played good. I don't think they shut it down, so to speak. I think they were motivated in that spot. So I will give them that, which is good because if this was a game where it was out of hand and, you know, they lose by 3 touchdowns or whatever, then I would be very cautious to back this Miami team, but they were up at half, and I think second half adjustments really cost them. UNC out the gate in the second half scored 21 points unanswered. So I think the final score is more indicative of just bad, poor second half adjustments versus anything that happened the week prior with that loss. So having said that, I think this line is fair, and I think Miami being the dog, +3, +4 in some spots, I think is a fair number. 48 is the total I'm seeing, and let me just take a look at what this opened at Circa. It looks like -3 and then 49. So I guess Clemson maybe got a little bit of money, but it's minimal, or the move has been minimal. What are your thoughts on this game?
I think Miami's undervalued here as a home dog. I agree. Uh, I mean, unless Miami has completely mailed it in, which who knows? I mean, for them to, like you said, because they looked good on paper until, like you said, that second half,
Hmm.
so they kind of shot themselves in the foot there. Um, but I think this is their chance to get it right at home. Clemson's offense is Clemson's offense, so uh,
That's
Miami's
a
not a
great way
bad
to
team.
sum it up. that's that's how exactly how I would explain Clemson's offense right now.
I mean, I think Dabo's gonna he's definitely motivated because now they're playing as well, in this case they're the favorite, but in the grand scheme of things they're playing as the dog. And he made some comments the other day about the bandwagon, about you know people falling off the Clemson bandwagon and all this stuff. And so I mean, I think he definitely feels like he has something to prove. But I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, I think this is a good spot for Miami, a good get right spot. And if they don't, I just don't see how they don't take advantage of it. So, especially at this number, like you said, this number, what, 3, 3.5.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I don't know. I can't back Clemson at this number. I got to go with the home dog here.
Yeah, the more I think about it, this line is really weird to me because on a neutral, this is essentially saying that Clemson would be the favorite by almost a touchdown, maybe 6, 6.5. That just doesn't seem right to me. And if they were at home, they would be favored by 8. I can't buy that. And I think a lot of it just has to do with the perception of Miami. This is a Miami team that is probably in a similar spot where Clemson was like 3 weeks ago, type thing. The Clemson Syracuse game maybe would be a good way to sum that up, where they were coming off that loss to Florida State, basically officially out of the playoff conversation. And I think I fell in that trap where I'm like, well, Syracuse is at home. I like the spot. And then Clemson played well. So now Clemson's coming off of a game where they barely squeak one by. Miami's coming off a loss. But again, I feel confident with what I saw against a really good UNC team offensively with the new coordinator. That's worked out really well. And Drake May is playing really good football. Um, so I don't think you can downgrade Miami based off that performance. And I think Miami getting 3 points at home, I think that's pretty good value. And even 4 in some spots, I have to lean Miami. And the more I think about it, I probably am gonna bet something in this, whether it's the spread or the money line. I gotta think more about it. But yeah, Miami 100% is gonna be my lean in this one.
Yeah, agreed. I haven't bet it yet either, but I'm probably going to before the end of the day today.
Yeah, looks like a pretty good spot, and that one's a late game too. So I don't
Mhm.
know. We're comparing Miami, Florida to like Florida State. There's not as good of a home field advantage, but they they try their best.
Yeah, exactly, and I mean, it's again, it on paper, Van Dyke he's a great quarterback.